So I've been curvy since I was young. There are times where I would come home from school and cry because I was so bullied for my weight. And that has been my biggest insecurity. So for me to sit here and tell you I've always been confident in my size, I would be lying. So now that like Glitzy's more than a brand, right? It's a lifestyle. And I feel that Glitzy gives not only me the confidence, but also other women who were like me, who did struggle, who would go home crying at night, who were bullied. It gives them a chance to have that confidence. So I think what really made me more confident was that I realized I'm unique. I don't look like those people in the magazines, and that's what's gonna make me stand apart. And I think that people will love me just for being me and not my size, because beauty is beyond size. My main thing about Glitzy, like why I wanted to be here and work here, was because I've always wanted to inspire other people who have went through the same struggles with their weight as me. Because I want to let you know you're not your weight, you're not the size in your jeans. Like I'm getting emotional thinking about it, because I can't tell you, like I would sit there at night and cry and be like, why can't I be skinny? Why can't I be skinny? And here I am, and I hope that I just inspire others to feel like they are this super curvaceous babe, because you totally are.
So I've pretty much been a curvy sports type body since a very young age. I had a lot of friends that were the teeny tiny, you see them everyday basis, and I was bullied a lot. I wore glasses. I was not the average size kid. I didn't have the best home life, and so it was just like a really big struggle, and like it just progressively got worse. I went from not having any curves and anything, just kind of being a chunky kid, to going to middle school, and all of a sudden I had these hips and boobs and all of this from nowhere. And I really struggled with it. Like a lot of kids would make fun of me. I mean, guys would look at me as I was a piece of meat or an object, and I like made that, like I felt like that was who I was, that was all I had left for my life. And I basically, when I moved here to Denison, I found Glitzy, and it was the first company that I've ever found where I could express myself and feel comfortable in my own clothes and my own skin. And I recently had my breast reduction surgery, and I have never felt better. Like I feel like there's just literally and emotionally so much weight off my chest. And it really feels all like great to have people that like support you and feel what you're going through, because as a kid I didn't have that. I didn't have somebody to be by my side that understood what I was going through.
We definitely have a lot of support here.
Thank you.
I hope that you feel that.
I've not been super curvy my whole life. I was fairly average sized when I was growing up, and then once I hit high school, things became more accessible and everything, and I started putting on the weight after that. And then I had 2 children in the meantime, and that's really when the hips started not lying. And I used to always feel so bad that I mean, up until I found Glitzy Girlz, I wore maternity jeans and maternity clothes, and that was my day-to-day. And it didn't really bother me that much, but then I would see my friends who had children, and they would get back down to their size, and it was so discouraging that I was still shopping at Motherhood Maternity, you know, and everything like that. But then I found Glitzy Girlz several months ago, and I just couldn't believe that, I mean, my style, here it is, here, and I get to wear the clothes that I like and I feel confident in, and my husband loves it, and my family, and I just feel like a whole new person now, just totally, just full of life. Right now, it is a big deal, because I feel like when I step out the front door, I want people to say, damn, and they do.
Yes.
So my name is KANDACE, and I too was a little bit thinner growing up, and then as I moved into middle school and high school, I started to get a little more curvy, and then I had 2 children, and of course that brought on some more curves and things like that. I also have PCOS, And so I suffered 2 miscarriages before I had my children. So that kind of really, when you go into the doctor's office and the first thing that comes out of their mouth is, well, you can have kids if you lose weight. And then you try to go and lose weight, and then they go, oh yeah, you have PCOS, so you really can't lose weight, or it's gonna be extremely hard for you to lose weight. That just brings you down like so much. And so then I found Glitzy Girlz, and not only was it like amazing to have clothes where I could like, oh, I can walk into the shop, try on anything I want, and it's gonna fit me, versus like just going to your regular place where I'm like, well, I can't even shop there with my friends because they all fit in those clothes and I don't. It's so, it breaks you down more and more and more. So I love that about Glitzy. And then I got on there and was looking at some of the comments, and all the women on there are so positive on the Facebook, and like, you post something and you're like, oh, I don't think this looks good, and then you get 100 comments about, oh my gosh, girl, you look great, or it looks perfect on you. And so I just love like feeling that community that I get from Glitzy Girlz, and they give me the confidence, and then I feel like when I walk out the door, I'm ready to go. Like, I have the confidence and I can do whatever I want to do, and I'm going to accomplish it.
That's awesome.
So.
Preach it, sister.
I'm so glad that you shared your story about PCOS, because whenever I was diagnosed with it, I felt like my whole world was over.
Yeah, it's not. I have 2 babies and they're beautiful. So you'll get there. You'll get there. So
I grew up curvy as well, and so it's just been a hard journey, like learning to be myself and realize that I'm never gonna look like a person in the magazine, and I'm never gonna look like my friends that stand next to me in a picture. So it's kind of been a journey. Just even now, all of my friends are skinny, and you know, they have it all. As it looks on the outside, they have it all, and I have just now started to come into my skin and kind of be more confident. And there are a lot of days that I do not feel confident at all, but I just put on a show and kind of fake it till you make it type thing, and it seems to be working out. But I feel like Glitzy Girlz has given me this opportunity to kind of be myself, and like everyone here, we're all the same and different at the same time. So it just makes me feel more included and more like I can be myself and stand out.
I'm 25 years old. It took me 25 years to get to this point. And so, like, honestly, probably at the beginning of this year, I am to the point now where I have no desire. I used to wish, and I would do anything I could, like work out, eat right, and like pray, wish, hope, do what I was supposed to, because I wanted to be skinny. And now I'm to the point where I have no desire to be skinny. I want to be curvy. I want to embrace my curves. Now, do I think that, oh, like you shouldn't work out, you shouldn't take care of your body? No, like absolutely, you still need to work out. You need to take care of your body, because curves are important. Curves are what makes a woman, I think. And now I'm embracing it. I'm loving every bit of it. I'm having fun, and I'm never gonna be skinny, because this is who I am.
I think you go through that stage, you know, where you're like, oh, you know, like she said, I just want to be thin, why, you know, kind of thing. But I think now that I've become a mom and have 2 girls, I keep thinking to myself, like, I want to teach them healthy eating habits, but I also want them to be confident in what they were given, and that they can, and so I need to do that too. I need to quit telling myself, like, oh, I just want to be thin, or if I'm not going to eat that because I'll just gain weight. You know, I need to show those things. I need to be eating healthy. I need to be working out. And if I lose a little bit of weight, then I lose a little bit of weight. But I'm never going to be super skinny. And if my girls are super skinny, great. But at least they're learning how to treat their bodies and treat themselves. Because that's the most important, is how you treat yourself. And you're going to gain that confidence, not from other people, but also you're going to give yourself that confidence when you know you're treating your body right.
I think it's also important to just embrace who you are and not always try to change who you are, because you're made this way, and to be out there and be who you are, I think is number one too. Because I mean, everybody is always trying to be somebody else, and I think if you go out there and you strut your stuff, then you're number one, and that is it. That is what it is.
Absolutely.
I think that being a glitzy girl means that you need to be the one responsible for influencing the energy in the room.
Yeah.
And even with what you said, like that you're teaching them about their bodies, you're not only teaching them about them, you're teaching them how to treat others. You're making a difference in what the next generation is going to have, and it's going to make this body positivity so much stronger because they're learning from such a younger age and from somebody that like understands what it's like to be curvy, even if they're not. They see it. They're like, you're beautiful, and they get to see that from a different perspective. And some of these kids don't these days. They just see what's on the internet, and they're like, oh, they're bullying people, and they think it's funny. Oh, that's cool. That's a new trend. I'm gonna do it too. And that's how it just blows up. And the body positivity that is not in this world, it is sad how much it's just vanished.
Social media wasn't a huge thing. I'm 33, well, almost 33. So social media was like just starting to come around more. MySpace was like the first thing. And so I didn't really notice it as much then as I did once I got into high school, and like Facebook and Instagram came around. And then I started noticing it more and more. And I think it's because MySpace was like more, like you could put more like quotes and things out there, whereas like Facebook and Instagram and stuff are geared more towards like pictures.
Yes.
And so then you have to put out your body and your face. And so, and then they're like, instead of just picking apart words, well, they're like, oh wow, there's a person. Now let me pick apart this person.
Right.
And say, well, your eyes don't look right, or my eyes are greener, or you know, anything like that. And so I think it gave them more opportunity. And so now you're seeing it like so much more because they have more things to look at.